Fault next to a fault, Netflix's mission to save Meghan Markle collapsed in the basement. An industry expert has spoken with Page 6, confirming the news that Netflix is having an incredibly difficult time figuring out how in the world to repair its failed investment in Meghan and Harry. The insider has explained that even though Meghan might have some plans, and she may be pitching woo with this, that, and the other idea, director, producer, or studio execs, mostly Netflix, her current keepers, but what is the point? Her efforts are completely wasted. Sometimes we'll get drip-fed these BS stories, but none of it really amounts to anything except a bunch of rumors. The next day, it's something else that we're expected to believe, some new tack that we're supposed to be following. She is altogether an incredibly unpleasant and toxic individual. Her reputation certainly precedes her, so in Hollywood she is being shunned at every corner. Doors are being slammed shut in her face, avenues are being blocked off so that she doesn't try to go down them. Nobody wants to give her the time of day, and certainly nobody wants to take her calls or listen to her PR and talent agency WME. So first of all, we've got to remember that Hollywood is completely shut down right now. Everybody, and I mean everybody, the screenwriters, the unionized actors, they are all on strike. And as far as I know, this dispute shows no signs of being resolved anytime soon. Any film projects that were in production have been stopped for a temporary time. Any proposed projects have been shelved indefinitely. It is difficult to get anything happening with the heart of the entertainment industry at this standstill. But that really is not even Meghan's biggest problem. The biggest problem for her is that nobody in Hollywood, or really anywhere for that matter, wants to be associated with this never was has-been whose only claim to fame was because she married a prince. Everybody knows her as a liar and a grifter, and let's not forget all the attacks that she made on the royal family under the guise of being unjustly done wrong. But in reality, they just changed the whole story to suit Meghans' agenda. All this garbage coming from a woman who loves and lives in the lap of luxury. She flaunts her wealth at every opportunity. She uses that wardrobe to get attention for herself because that is what she is so desperate for all the time. She's an attention whore for publicity and controversy. All this victimhood and lying BS, it's gone stale really quickly, and it's incredibly repetitive. It's boring at this point. Nobody wants to hear any more of her nonsense. Nobody wants what Meghan is offering. Nobody wants what she's selling. Even if she is a duchess, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares and nobody is interested. Yes, I know, she played a part in Suits from 2011 through 2019, but unlike what she says about herself, she was never the big star of that cable TV show. Her character was in a minor supporting role to the overall plot of the show. Now, the real stars were Patrick J. Adams and Gina Torres. Obviously, Meghan may never have gotten the gig in the first place if it were not for her husband at the time, Trevor Engelson. He pulled some strings for her, and he made some connections behind the scenes. And now I guess Netflix has decided to pick up the series, and so you can watch Suits on Netflix whenever you want to. Oh, I know, you don't want to, neither do I. In 2018, Patrick Adams, Torres, and Meghan left the show, so the last and final season in 2019 had 10 episodes with new characters introduced and some whole new plot twists. When it was airing live, it aired on a network in the US, and surprisingly, now it's more popular on Netflix than it was back then. So if you've got a subscription to Netflix, then you can binge watch the whole series if you want to. The question now turns into, why is Netflix carrying it? Why have they decided to stream it? Could it be because of the strike in Hollywood and the hold it has been put on new and fresh content to stream? Or are they trying to rehab Meghan's reputation by showcasing her acting skills in the show? Because for now at least, Meghan and Harry are still under contract with Netflix, so maybe they're trying to gauge audience reactions to her to see if there's any future for her. It is the acting role that she is most famous for as Rachel Zane. I would guess that people are watching because they're curious. They want to see what Meghan's acting is like, and they want to know what all the fuss is about. Maybe they're also just watching because some people think that it's not that bad of a series. It was the writing that made that show popular, so now, thanks to the strike in Hollywood, the show's writers are very upset. They believe they're being exploited. But anyway, back to plans. As far as I can tell, Meghan doesn't have the first idea about what to do with herself. All she can do is release those PR puff pieces and stage some pap walks so she can get some attention. It looks like, though, Netflix is the only company that wants to still be associated with Meghan and Harry. They're still sticking around and still pouring millions into this really bad investment. It's almost like they can't admit that they made a big mistake. They jumped the gun and they hedged their bets on a title to make Meghan Markle, this yacht girl, a star. A couple of years ago, after a very upset public started canceling their Netflix subscriptions, and after stocks had fallen a lot, Netflix had to let go so many of their employees, and they still wouldn't let Meghan go. They just held on to her, hiring well-paid professionals to do the work for her. But then I guess the professionals didn't get any of the credit, and that was the deal. They were so desperate to get us to believe this lie and this strange fixation on shoving Meghan into our faces. People know talent when we see it, and Meghan Markle simply doesn't have it. Also, like everybody else, the entire crew of writers and producers, directors, threw their hands up, saying that she does not listen to direction, she won't listen to anybody's advice, she's incredibly demanding, she is impossible to work with. So here we go again. With any future project happening, once again, reportedly, Netflix is looking for professionals to produce, direct, and write the entire book or movie or whatever it is, while Meghan Markle just sits there and doesn't do a thing. But she's going to get all the credit, of course. Why? I mean, they are spending so much more money than they're ever going to get back. We are talking about millions upon millions added on to whatever ridiculous amount of money they contracted her for, all in a vain attempt to squeeze another buck out of Meghan while spending millions to do so. I think the people have made it clear, as have those who have cut this deadweight off, actors and bigwigs. Nobody likes Meghan Markle. She's simply an unlikable person. She's disgusting. I don't think the protest can get any louder, but I guess Netflix loves her for whatever reason. And even though they know they can treat her like garbage and laugh in her face, they're still pouring so much money into her. Not into her bank account, of course, but into her projects. Meghan has also always needed men. She has never really developed her own abilities to rise up in the world on her own. She claims that she got a great education thanks to her father, but she didn't get enough that way to make it on her own. And that started a whole pattern of just riding on the wings of men, and we still see that pattern happening today. If Meghan wants to be responsible for her own existence, then she needs to do a lot of work on herself. I mean, she has become such a liar, a thief. I think she would be shocked to find out how many women out there didn't even have a father and learned to make it all on their own, at a young age too, and they're successful. Now that, if you ask me, is what feminism looks like. Meghan, though, no, she needs men to even pretend to be successful. Let's remember, when was she offered millions of dollars to produce something? Before Harry? Oh, no, that never would have happened. When did Netflix want to develop this relationship with her? Well, it was after she married Harry, never before. When did Oprah want to do an interview with her? Was it before she met Harry or after? Well, I think we know the answer to that. When did anybody hear her name in the news at all? Was it before Harry? Never. Nobody even knew who she was. But then she got with Harry, and now she is infamous. And you, what do you think about this issue? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you preferred our video today, don't be afraid to like and share it with your friends and relatives who need it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.